please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter, or Twat. Today we're going to start with Shoe on Head. I will not tip the robots. I will not tip the corpos. Included is an image. Self-checkout machines will now ask for tips in latest squeeze on customers. This one's novel. We do have self-service here in the UK, and some of them ask you to round it up to donate to charity. Some do, not all. The idea of tipping a machine, though, is strange. I'm not on board with it. I'm not on board with tipping anyone that works in retail, to be honest. But that's just because generally in this country, ours are paid wages. So tipping seems a bit strange. There are usually charity pots littered around shops. If I've got some change, I'll stick them in that instead. Go to a cause or the bureaucracy behind the cause, rather than the machine that I have used to scan barcodes, so I don't have to deal with people. Little Miss Anonymous retweeted Shoe with tipping a self-checkout. Tips for a self-checkout. And then, eyes really far apart because the reason she wears a mask is because fetal alcohol syndrome. If she sees that, she's going to try and kick my ass. I'm okay with it. So next, iDubbbz. He has put out a video titled, I miss the old iDubbbz, in quotes. This was not so well received. Keemstar. iDubbbz just uploaded a video apologizing for saying the N-word in the Tanner Content Cop years ago. However, iDubbbz's wife on a podcast just 1 year ago said it was her idea, so why isn't she apologizing? Reply, walking L iDubbbz, and then some OnlyFans shill. Not even a joke. No. Sugar Tits. Watching iDubbbz's apology video vibes. A gif of, is that Donald Duck getting, well, not intentionally effed in the arse by his own kid, but basically that idea. Chris the Narc. Dude, iDubbbz should have taken notes from Joji, on how to change his content and still hold the same respect for his previous content. Joji is the best to look at when it comes to this. It's okay to change content and move on, but this ain't the way, dude. Other examples are Max and Chad as well. Reply, Pyro and Quackity are good examples too. Oh, Joji's Filthy Frank, isn't it? See, I got there eventually. I saw it in a reply underneath. I didn't know that before. Keemstar again. Alex Wasabi beat this man so bad he's apologizing for his own existence. Willie Mack. iDubbbz gains career by making fun of people on the internet. iDubbbz gets made fun of on the internet. iDubbbz realizes being made fun on the internet isn't fun. There, summed up the video for you. The video from iDubbbz is 17 minutes long. Willie Mack also said that this guy was 27 when he made those videos and acts like he was 15. Reply, from where I'm standing, this whole thing, iDubbbz fans get all giddy over how offensive his content is. iDubbbz changes as a person, looks back on his past with regret, and ends up offending his old fans. His old fans are the ones feeling offended now and don't like it. Reply to that, it's just grifting. Make content you know will get views. If the old content would survive, he'd still make it. This growing as a person act, laughing crying emoji thing. Most of the people we all watch are grifters doing what they must to succeed. And dude content copped himself. Stephen somebody. I'm in the minority here, but I really like the new iDubbbz video. It's clearly pissed a lot of the edgelords off. Yeah, I misread that. AKA the people he's calling out. I will always believe that an influencer is responsible for the audience they cultivate, and it's good for him to acknowledge that. He's an influencer? Won't deny that's news to me. EMP Lemon. If iDubbbz no longer wants to contribute to a culture of harassment, he should probably take down the Froggy response video, which has demonstrably led to Froggy's harassment over the past 2 weeks. You talk about moving on, but continue the exact behavior you're apologizing for. Unlisting the content cops was a good decision in my opinion. At least he's honest about his intentions. I'm just baffled how he spent 15 minutes flagellating himself over how cruel those videos were, and apparently sees nothing wrong with what he did to Froggy just 2 weeks ago. Reply, he said it himself. Either all of it is okay or none of it is okay is a statement he doesn't follow anymore. So hypocrisy is his new style, I guess. Just an FYI, I don't agree with the idea of unlisting content cops. But not my content, not my channel. Consigned to the annals of history, those videos still exist on the internet anyway, because everyone would have archived it very quick. Chris the Narc. Does Keemstar, Leafy and Rice Gum get an apology or just Tanner for goofing on her? Bro, this video didn't need to be made. There's a point there, because the content cops on Leafy and Rice Gum effectively ended their careers. In fact, when people knew a content cop was coming, they knew it was going to hurt somebody, and I left Keemstar out there because this guy just does not go. He has existed before the internet apparently and will exist long after it. Another one from Chris the Narc. I don't get it. Colosso is crazy will have a fair in-depth conversation with Ian. These two people did the same kind of content and Clown has a perspective that Ian can understand. Why the hell is he gonna go to Tanner? Included is an image. Tanner Mongoose had tweeted, cancel podcast as soon as possible, crazy times, wonder if he'd ever come on, because someone had said to her, eagerly awaiting Tanner Mongoose responding to iDubbbz. iDubbbz actually, they're gonna do a podcast. Yeah. I only tweeted one thing about this. It was something, alright? I found it fascinating that he has distanced himself from who he was, because by erasing your own past, you are besmirching it. But you're doing it because of the criticism you're getting about your past and how you've moved away from it, because you chose a rather crappy tactic, a way of approaching it, to achieve a different path for yourself. I can fully understand and respect one's decision to change who they are. As time goes by, many do in fact. You are not the same person throughout your entire life. If you think that, you're deluded. Personalities, behaviors, cultures, society as a whole change us. With you, Mr. iDubbbz, you made a change that many have attributed to that of your wife, how her influence over you has changed you. Whether that is true or not, I actually don't care. But the drastic actions you've taken, the steps you have taken, make you look even weaker than you were before the boxing fights. By the way, credit to you for at least getting in the ring and throwing a few punches. Moving on from iDubbbz L, let's talk about BitChute. What evidence is there that Twitter is any more free speech than YouTube? The answer to that is, there isn't any. You can champion it one way, but if you are seen then kowtowing to governments, if you're seen kowtowing to mobs, you are no more free speech than I am a preacher. As many of you know, I do upload content exclusively to BitChute. Yes, okay, the comments are a bit spicier, but I do it because I really want to grow on that platform. I like reward systems, okay? Next, baller alert. A TikToker is advocating for wider plane aisles, arguing that the existing layout is discrimination against larger passengers. Included is a 41-second video that was posted originally by Ollie London. The video and the tweet from Baller Alert was retweeted by Hassan Piker. Every time a video like this goes viral, airlines cut your legroom by another inch since y'all like cramped spaces so much. For a guy as big as he is, an inch off would be noticeable. Hui hui. Sugar Tits retweeting Hassan with, Hassan probably couldn't crack a fat penis joke to save his life. If you can think of a really funny cock joke based on the 41-second video you're about to see and what Hassan said, best one gets pinned. Yeah, there's no audio beyond like a little ambience in the back, which my own video ambience kind of cancels. Maybe that's a good thing, because no doubt they would have used music which would not have been copyright free on this platform. So instead I'm going to offer some rather inane commentary before we go to the next subject, concerning Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph of late has been getting a considerable amount of flack, not least because he has fallen well and truly off the wagon in a cycle that appears to have repeated itself not long after another cycle had completed. It's quite tragic really, and no one wishes ill on anyone, no matter how much they deserve it, like Ethan Ralph. Andy Warski, who is on death's door now? LMFAO. Included is an image from Ethan Ralph's, I don't know what platform this is. Is this Cozy? He's recently taken to shaving his head. I think that's because people said he was going bald, and by shaving his head, any baldness that he may well have is less visible in favour of shorter follicles that are thick enough to make it look like he has a full head of hair. Not here to judge, not here to mock, but he's been putting on shorter shows and other shows and more shows. It's looking messy for him right now, and I just thought I'd highlight this because there's a chance in the future I may well do a video on him, just because of how fascinating his downward spiral has become. So next, Kidology. Can someone please explain to me how the YouTube algorithm is racist? Namely, the step-by-step process that repeatedly, systematically, and computationally discriminates against non-white content creators. I don't get it. Impartial proof of this would be appreciated. Ryan Beard replied, the algorithm is trained on the data that it is given, so if it sees over time that people are more likely to click on videos from white people, it will recommend those videos more. It isn't programmed to be racist, but it does reflect the biases of the people consuming content. Sam reply, this doesn't make sense. If someone watches a video by, say, Gideon, the algorithm doesn't think, oh, this person likes black people, let's recommend them a Kidology video. It thinks, oh, this person likes pranks, let's recommend them other prank channels. Reply from Ryan, yes, but if in the prank genre, the black people get clicked on less often because of social bias, they will get recommended less. The algorithm is basically just a mirror of society. Jessica Pizzle, retweeting Ryan. Or, hear me out. YouTube handpicks its trending page and suppresses any content that does not align with their views, or what will give me the best ad revenue cut. The ratio of black creators to creators of any other race is pretty large, albeit getting smaller every day. It's not an algorithm problem, it's a content and numbers thing. There is no changing it unless more black creators come to the platform and don't get banned. Oh, that last part. But there is a point there. Disparities brought on by frequent overuser and creator themselves. And in the case of Ryan Beard, he didn't really answer Kidology concerning impartial proof, more assertion with nothing to support. So next we're going to go to the trending tags. The first one, Tipster, fellow creator. Hi Tippy, not blasting you for this. He was trending for 2 tweets in particular. One was a video, 1 minute 10 one I'm not going to play, when Tipster DM'd Goth Mummy at 3 AM to make sure she was doing okay, and then at 11 AM the next morning, this clip is the reason why. She said this N-word while Tipster was defending calling his mum hot. Tippy felt bad for her. The second reason is because of this image. Apparently Tipster had threatened somebody, a much smaller commentary creator, into removing their content. I know nothing of the creator, the video they made, I do not have the context. I just want to highlight that this is why Tipster was trending. The second trend, Keith Lee, former WWE wrestler, now I believe AEW. He was trending because of Global Fight Revolution, who had tweeted, this man looks like a local pastor more than a star. Retweeted by iBozzy, man saw that this post got traction and is now going to try and get engagement farm off Keith Lee hate. Honestly quite sad, and also Ratio. He did in fact Ratio Global Fight Revolution, who'd also tweeted, this is what Keith Lee refused to do and now has become an afterthought, spelt incorrectly. Gunther is the ultimate model of what you have to do to become a star. He worked for it, he has earned it. Gunther has gone through an immense and quite frankly fantastic body transformation and could be a heel, a fantastic one for the next 10-15 years of his career. He has the perfect character, provided the WWE don't pull the trigger too soon on him. World Heavyweight Champion, he deserves that at some point. Retweeted by Cam. Y'all don't get on Kevin Owens' large ass, so why did Keith Lee catch a stray? Who knows? It's a mystery. I'm assuming a sarcasm sign's required for this somewhere. I'm not going to put it on the screen though. The last trend to mention is John Cleese, who was trending for a few reasons. The more noteworthy one is because people are trying to get him to remove a man having a baby joke from Life of Brian. That's what they're trying to do. Eric Idle had tweeted, I have nothing to do with this production or adaptation. Apparently Cleese has cut the song. Now that's interesting. Retweeted by Matt Wallace, John Cleese, you are all snowflakes and your cancel culture PC policing has ruined comedy. Also John Cleese, I do not wish to offend people who believe in imaginary sky grandpa, so I shall ruin one of the most iconic film endings in comedy history. Somebody had also included a Ricky Gervais tweet from 2018 in this trending tag. The tweet is quite appropriate. Please stop saying you can't joke about anything anymore. You can. You can joke about whatever the F you like. And some people won't like it and they will tell you they don't like it. And then it's up to you whether you give an F or not, and so on. It's a good system. National Review. A major LGBT advocacy organization demoted Anheuser-Busch on its corporate equity index in retaliation to the beer giant's response following the backlash over its partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. Retweeted by Ranting Monkey. Which will cost AB more in sales? Pissing off frat boys or upsetting some LGBT advocacy group? If they asked the question in the first place, they wouldn't be in this mess. He's not wrong, by the way. The fact this has gone on as long as it has is quite hilarious. Callum, aka Sargon of Akkad's secretary. Cutting ties with Kanye hurt sales. Kanye confirmed way less damaging to a brand than Dylan Mulvaney. The interesting thing about this, I thought this was a joke, this article. It's a BBC one, you can tell from the share button on it. From the 5th of May. It's real. I couldn't actually believe this, but it turns out Adidas has said the loss of business cut sales by 400 million euros or 350 million actual pounds in the first quarter of the year. Total revenue, though, only fell by 1%. Despite the dip, the figures were better than what analysts had been expecting, and Adidas said that sales were up 9% when the impact of the Yeezy business was excluded. At the same time, though, they're struggling to sell unsold Yeezy products. I'm not surprised. First of all, those trainers are far too expensive. They really are. Second, all you have to do is call them something else. Stick a new label on them, and people will buy them at a reduced cost. Hell, I'd buy them if they weren't £200 plus a pair, which, by the way, is far too much for a pair of trainers. It's as bad as Nike TNs. To finish, Pimpmaster Broder, and we swing in this one back. Sorry, but if you used to say and do racist shit when you watched iDubbbz, Filthy Frank and PewDiePie, then it's your fault. Normal people watched edgy stand-up for years without a problem until this generation couldn't handle it. Also, selling out isn't maturing. Undoomed. Fun fact, not once did watching Blazing Saddles when I was young make me call black people the N-word. And if I would've, it would have been my fault, not the movies. Aeon. Christ, speaking of both Mel Brooks and selling out for woke points, they apparently made a History of the World Part 2. I'm loath to watch it because there's a 95% chance it will ruin a childhood memory. Undoomed, though, has saved you the trouble. He watched one episode of it and it was exactly as unfunny as you'd expect from a contemporary comedy, especially as Mel Brooks has no writing credits in it. You are all welcome, don't waste your time. We've also reached the end of the video. Thank you for listening. See you all on Monday.